July 26th, 2019, 3:05 p.m. All right, go ahead. That's all I wanted to do.
3:05 p.m.
That's whenever the story was posted.
So this is really interesting because there's a bunch of stories on this. I saw this pop up maybe last year, and I thought that it was a recent find. But then it was like, no, this also happened in 2019. But then it was like, oh, there's also shit about this from 2014.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Did this happen more than once? And was it the same place both times? We got to dig into this. Arizona company piled up bodies and dismembered limbs instead of using them for research. So we're talking about essentially like a body farm that was misusing these things. Now, this is that what you just said? July 28, 2019?
This one's on the 26th, so it's 2 days prior to yours, but yeah. Yours is probably going to be more accurate because these guys tend to push information before they know about it, so.
Just to start here, families thought they were donating bodies of their loved ones to a company that would send them to medical researchers to help find cures for diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. But when federal authorities raided the Arizona facility of the Biological Resource Center in January 2014, there it is. When they raided it in 2014, they made a horrific discovery: bodies piled on top of one another, buckets full of body parts, and other unsettling scenes. Details that came to light recently when a former FBI agent gave a statement for a lawsuit. They're reporting this shit 2019. This shit's been going down. So homeboy went undercover to a body farm, which is so appropriate for this beautiful story we're about to unleash.
I have some here. It says one of the people that discovered the scene, they said, I observed a large torso with the head removed and replaced with a smaller head sewn together in a Frankenstein manner.
Wow.
That's insane, dude. It's almost like they were trying to prepare themselves for like a head transplant. You know what I mean? Like, I observed body parts piled up on each other throughout the facility with no apparent identification to indicate what bodies they came from or who they belonged. That's insane. That's crazy, man. Like, on your license, are you an organ donor?
You know what? I am. And it's interesting because, like...
That scares me now. Like, what happens to your body?
Dude, I always thought that was the right thing to do. And then more and more I hear about these horrific things. People that could have been saved that aren't saved because they're an organ donor, and it's hard to tell if it's bullshit conspiracy, but you know what, the world's gonna be okay without my parts, I think.
Yeah, he also said buckets and coolers with various body parts, including a bucket of heads, arms, and legs, were also absent of identification, as were body parts strewn into freezers. Complete negligence on the part of the quote-unquote scientific research that was going on here. They were like, oh yeah, here comes a couple more bodies, and they just dumped them in the corner, like, or cut them up and like threw them into piles. Like, that's crazy.
One of these articles talks about bodies were sold to the Department of Defense according to the lawsuit. So there's a lawsuit in place here from the families that donated these bodies. These bodies were literally used as crash test dummies, which meant they were used in experiments involving exposure to destructive forces, impacts, crashes, ballistic injuries, and blasts. But all that said, that's not the alarming part. The alarming part is like the debaucherous Frankenstein party that was going on. What was the idea here? Like, were people trying to make Frankenstein's monster? Like, I understand that it was mismanaged. You could say it's mismanaged. There's parts in buckets. Nobody knows who they belong to, yada, yada, yada. Why are their heads sewn onto other bodies?
Yeah, it's almost like there is a sick psychological thing that was going on in this place too. Like for here, it says the defendant's acts were so outrageous in character and so extreme in degree as to go beyond all possible bounds or decency, and are regarded as atrocious and utterly intolerable in a civilized community. They also said that the defendants either intended or caused plaintiffs emotional distress or reckless disregard in near certainty that the distress resulted from their conduct. That's basically saying that they did it knowingly, and they were probably going to get caught doing this. That's crazy.
Fucking wild, dude. This one section here says that the people were told that they would receive their loved ones back, the remaining parts cremated. And although that some of them did, it doesn't change the fact that these were like commingling body parts. So like,
right, you didn't get a pure return of your loved one. There's no way.
They got like Uncle Jasper and somebody's cousin Nikki and somebody's mom.
Could you imagine the different feeling that would cause somebody that is trying to grieve?
Oh, dude, it's fucking disgusting.
Yeah, where you get these ashes back, and now you found out that like all these random people are actually in there, and it's really not your loved one entirely. Like that would cause people to break down in distress.
Unbelievable. It's horrific, and it makes me wonder. This is the place that they busted. Right, some FBI dude was in there undercover doing his gig. This is the one they found.
Yeah, do you know what that means?
Right.
There's probably another one out there somewhere doing the same thing right now. Man, it makes me not want to donate my body to science, you know?
This other article here says FBI finds horrific Frankenstein-like experiments at body donation facility.
Something's fishy.
Let's get a list of the people that bought these parts. Like, what are they doing?
Listen, I'm not going to say the name, but one of the ladies' husbands was awarded $5.5 million, said her husband's donated body was dismembered and body parts were discovered in different states. That's absolutely crazy, dude. Because of all this madness that happened, she sued and she won $5.5 million. That's insane.
Unbelievable.
She said her heart is broken. You get to know these people through the trial, people I've never known before, the other plaintiffs, and they're so kind, sweet, lovely people that were totally taken advantage of.
Mr. T. Harp, one of the plaintiffs, told CNN he was very clear with Biological Resource Center that he wanted the remains of mother and grandmother to be used for scientific research, perhaps in a lab where students could learn from the remains. And I quote, "Not for a morbid dissect Frankenstein party." Now he wonders whether the company really sent their cremated ashes. "We don't even know who we have in our boxes. None of us do." His mother suffered from severe arthritis and was in a wheelchair for 25 years. Harp said that the hospice facility she was in referred him to the Biological Resource Center. She died in 2013, a year after Harp's grandmother died. "This is a horrible situation where these vulnerable people have been taken advantage of." The hospital recommended it. Is the hospital in on it? Are they getting a kickback?
Everybody's getting a kickback nowadays, man. That's just kind of the way it works. This is a crazy story, and it's very interesting that it kind of leads into what we're going to be doing next. So I hope you all stick around for that for sure.
It's going to be a banger.
I am the Mid-Crit Masochist, and I'm here with Trough-born Son.
Won't you come
and wash away the...